welcome back to Rusted Junk Garage. Well, today we're going to work on adjusting the old steering box in the 55 Chev junker truck. A little bit of a process doing it. I'll walk you through it, but first thing, let's get this thing up in the air. A little bit more, you'll be able to slide under there. Get it on the safety too. And I'll show you what we're gonna do. All right, get some light on there. All right, there's the steering box. On the side here is a 5/8 nut and a screw on the inside of that, and that's your lash adjustment. On the bottom here with this larger lock nut, this is your bearing slack adjustment. So what we're going to do is we're going to loosen this and then back the screw off, the lash adjustment screw, a couple turns, so that pulls that adjuster away. And then we'll go into the cab and gently turn the wheel, about a turn or so one way, and then a little bit back, and that kind of clears that. Then we'll do a pull test on the steering wheel, and I'm just using an old fish scale that I have, and you're looking for about 1 pound to 1.5 pound pull weight on that. After that, you achieve that, or if you don't achieve that, you come out here, you use your little punch and hammer, loosen your lock nut, and then this large adjusting screw, you take the slack out of the bearings and go back in and do another test till you get between 1 pound and 1.5 pounds of resistance. When you get that, then you gently turn your steering wheel from lock, and then you count all the way to the other lock, and then divide that in half and come back that much, and that's your center, approximately. You don't have to be spot on, but close. It's relatively easy. Then you come out here and you come down on your slack adjuster nut right here, and what you want to achieve on your pull on the steering column is 2 to 2.5 pounds of pull weight. And through the center, when the wheel is centered, that's where your highest pull weights are going to be. When you get out to far left or far right turn, it gets a little bit lighter. So that's the process for doing that. And you have to disconnect your idler arm here. The nut's already loose, so we'll pull that off. We'll go see what our adjustment is up top and go from there. Okay, we've made all our adjustments out there on the lash. We did not have to adjust the bearing adjustment, just the slack adjuster. And as we start let me zero that one more time. If you wait too long, this thing goes into lock mode to read the weight. Okay, there we go. So if you look, we're running 2.1, 2.15 on the pull to keep it moving. So we're pretty pleased with that. Let's pull it down this way and see how we're doing. In the 2.1 range, you can see that, so pretty pleased. So that, in my book, is adjusted as good as I can get it on a 69-year-old truck. So we're pleased with that. So we're going to go back under, check our tightness on everything, and then we're going to start tightening up all the nuts and make sure the cotter keys are in there. Well, we got everything buttoned up here, cotter pins in. There is one more thing that I have to do, and that's tighten. I want to double check my tie rod end bolts there, but came up on the U-bolts, and Looks like the shims, 4-degree shims, are seated nicely in there, and all the bolts seem level. And they're a nylock, so hopefully, you know, they're good and tight. I checked everything over here. I guess we're pretty good shape. I'm going to check them tie rod end bolts and then put it back on the ground. And once I get it on the ground, I just kind of want to check those leaf spring bolts one more time. I know the shocks are on, the bolts. I checked those earlier. The spring hangers here are good. So I think under here we're in pretty darn good shape right now. Well, looks like we got everything buttoned up here. I even went over the brakes to make sure they're kind of adjusted right. Cotter pins and everything tight. Had it down on the ground. Went over these. Got a snug more on them, which I think is good. Tie rod ends tight. Brakes adjusted. Idler tight. Cotter pinned. Steering box adjusted as best as I can get it. New king pins in. So 4-degree shims. I think we're going to be okay. Kind of set the toe in before. I'm going to check that again, and I've got to bleed the brakes. So because we put 3 new brake lines on, so that's got to be done. Well, today we got the steering box adjusted on the old junker. All we have left to do is bleed the brakes, and then we can take this out and see how it drives with those shims in it. I think the front end's pretty much aligned, about an 1/8 inch toe in. So we'll get the brakes bled and get out and do that. Although it isn't going to be today for 2 reasons. 1, I don't feel like bleeding them right now, and 2, it's raining. So there you go, rusted junk garage. Getting a few things done. The weather's going to get nicer here in the Pacific Northwest, and we'll get this thing out, drag it to a couple shows, and let the folks laugh at it a little bit and have a little bit of fun with it. So thanks for watching. We catch you on the next one.